Fatherhood is a really beautiful experience. You're given the opportunity to help someone grow and become better than you in every conceivable way. And in pursuit of that, fathers sometimes put some really interesting expectations on their children. Maybe it's joining the football team, or going to an Ivy League university, or killing Perfect Cell. But between you and me, Ivy League university is a little unreasonable. Like, Gohan is one of my favorite characters. What, you thought there was going to be a caveat? No, I mean in general. Gohan is one of the coolest and honestly most well-written characters I've ever gotten to see. Yes, I know I say that about every guy we talk about on this channel. And you know what? There's a lot of characters in various pieces of media that if they weren't there, I think that piece would take a huge hit in quality. Like, what's SpongeBob without Patrick? What's the Ninja Turtles without Raphael? Gohan in his time on screen has become not only a fan favorite, but also is probably one of the most divisive characters in Dragon Ball. But the thing about it is, nobody really understands Gohan. Not like I do, that's the homie. See? That's us right there. I mentioned Gohan being a divisive character, but that wasn't just talking about fan reception to him. It's also talking about his writing. Gohan has gone through so many character shifts throughout his time in the show. He's been a little kid, and he turned into a child soldier, to a child soldier in space, to a child soldier again, a teenage soldier. Okay, wow, glad we could get some variety. Until ultimately, he just became hella sorry. Now, the one thing that connects every iteration of Gohan, despite all the combat throughout his life, is the fact that he's a pacifist. And like, hey, can you blame the kid? They had him in the field at like 5 years old. No Nintendo, no Xbox, no YouTube. No, his life was deadass Kumon at 4, Fades at 5. By the time Gohan was like 9, he'd already seen all his friends and his dad die at least once, and he had already been nearly beaten to death several times. This shit sounds like the subject of a Kendrick Lamar album. You know, when I was a kid, I would always blame Chi-Chi as being the reason why Gohan became like a dweeb as he got older. But honestly, thinking about it as an adult, man, can you blame her? Like, seriously, as a parent, wouldn't you prefer your son pursue academics instead of getting black flashed by grown-ass men in space? Gohan spent the entirety of his life, with the exception of maybe 5 years, fighting the most powerful enemies that there could be. And the issue is that Gohan was always the strongest one, so none of these grown-ass men who train every day were gonna be able to help him do anything. I'm not at all surprised that Gohan was excited to go play with bugs or whatever for his PhD, because who wouldn't want to try and use their brain before the CTE kicks in? Can you imagine what kind of head trauma he suffered, bro? Half of his family, including his father, are already moving like Tony Ferguson. I was thinking a lot about the idea of Gohan being a pacifist and how that changes the way his character is viewed, especially in the context of other characters in different shows. Like Itachi, for example. It's stated that after looking at the results on the battlefield of the Ninja War, Itachi became a pacifist. But when Itachi became a pacifist, everyone was like, wow, you're so tough, big bro, look at your aura. But when Gohan's a pacifist, after being beat the fuck up since he was 3 years old, suddenly we're talking about him like he's a chud. Gohan is way too disrespected for what is realistically a very honest choice. I know the entire show, the constant with Saiyans is that they're smoke demons who constantly look for the next battle, but with every half Saiyan we've seen, they've consistently not had fighting at the top of their mind. Gohan wanted to be a scholar, Goten and Trunks are busy eating ants and trying to figure out if the writers will let them have a birthday this year, and then future Trunks just wanted his world to be safe. The reason why I was thinking about Gohan's pacifism and why I'm making this video is because despite us being decades removed from Gohan fighting Cell, I'm still seeing people come to the wrong conclusions about Gohan. Gohan's pacifism wasn't about his mom or anything like that. The reason why Gohan quote unquote fell off is because he's not Goku. Goku can't ever be like an accountant or something like that. He is built to find whoever he can to fight and fight them. That's all he is. It didn't used to be like that. Once upon a time, Goku actually had some depth to him, but I guess we can just charge that to the long list of things that Dragon Ball Super ruined. See, after Gohan clutched up against Cell, he had the thing with Bojack, and then he was kind of just chilling for a bit. Like, genuinely, why would he choose to run it back? The only reason he ended up training again during the Buu saga was because, I mean, did you guys see Majin Buu? Bro, nobody was gonna sit that one out. You either fought him or he was gonna find you, and you did not want him to find you. Buu literally pulled up on people that were already dead to just kill them again. Yeah, bro, I think that's a valid reason to put the gloves back on. The thing I like so much about Gohan is he's not just a scholar because he likes bugs. He deadass learns things. Like, initially, Gohan's idea of pacifism was just, I don't want to fight at all, I want to abandon violence. Low-key on his Thorfinn shit, but the main difference between Thorfinn and Gohan is that Thorfinn was allowed to abandon violence because none of his villains could nuke the solar system. Whereas in Dragon Ball, everybody from Dodoria to Yamcha can do some crazy shit. Gohan wanted to fully abandon violence because he had already seen so much of it as a child. Very valid, very reasonable. Unfortunately, that's not allowed. And Gohan understood that, which is why he got so much stronger. Not because he loves or wanted to fight, but because he had to protect the people he cared about. Gohan's arguably top 3 most well-written characters in Dragon Ball because of the layers that his pacifism adds to his character. Like, this is a guy whose coolest moments are all him in a fight, or him powering up, or him saying a very mean word to Majin Buu. And aside from that, he's a Saiyan. And pretty much every Saiyan we've met has just been Kenpachi maxing looking for the next fight, but not Gohan. Gohan hates fighting, but he knows where he's at. Gohan pursues pacifism, not because of Chi-Chi or because he just randomly became a bum one day. He pursues pacifism because despite him being the strongest person in the story, he just doesn't want to fight. And I really wish people would understand that. Like, comment, subscribe, hype the video if you're on mobile. If you don't, I'm gonna give your school bully a senzu bean. You're gonna get swirlied. Okay, bye. Yeah, it's all bad, I know that she crying.